What's up, everybody? It's the Digital World Podcast. And look at this chart. Golly, that looks good, doesn't it? We see that the 24-hour high is $1.96. Man, that almost hit $2, right? And we see here that trading volume. Look at that. $30 billion in trading volume. That's insane. Its market cap is $81 billion. That is some crazy stuff happening. This is just the beginning. And you know why it's just the beginning? Because Coinbase stock is set to launch today, starting at $250. I expect that price to run up like crazy. And it's just the beginning. And I'll explain why that's the case. But before we do that, let's look at what Genie has to say. Shout out to him. He said at the start of the year, you could buy 5 XRP for $1. Since then, we have seen over 900% in gains. And that's insane. Now you can only get a fraction of it for $1 per $1. And yet, the real world utility hasn't even been equated into its price yet. The FOMO has only just begun. Let the games begin. Now, I absolutely agree with what he's saying. And look at this. From the bottom right here, he's saying at around 16.9 cents all the way. And he has it here at about 173, and we've reached as high as 196. So that's insane. That's crazy. Okay? So this has just begun, folks. This is the beginning. I think people are going to realize, institutions, when Coinbase starts trading today, it's going to be worth more. Here, I'll go ahead and move on to the next thing so you can see what I'm talking about. David Schwartz posted this. He said, Coinbase is about to start trading at a market cap of around $65 billion. That's huge. Now, keep in mind, this is a private company, a cryptocurrency institution that's going public. Okay? He says that's above Charles Schwab, which has been around for decades, above Lloyd's, above Capital One, and above Barclays. That will put them above all but about the world's top 25 banks. And now this is the key part. In boardrooms around the world, the question will be asked, how did they do it and why aren't we doing it? CEOs of financial institutions had better prepared to answer demands from their boards for real cryptocurrency strategies. Now this is going to open the floodgates, guys. This is literally going to get the attention of all these institutions that are looking at this and looking at this evaluation of $65 billion. That is insane. So I think get your horses ready and prepare for the flood of money that's going to come in. Okay? And I don't know how it's going to happen. But people are going to start jumping in. And you're going to see the prices of these crypto soar like crazy. Now, here's the caveat to that. There's a lot happening with regulatory clarity. Now, what happens to XRP in the next couple of weeks in terms of the case, if we go to summary judgment, like some people have been saying, like the attorneys have been saying, and it's finalized, and this case is closed, now XRP will have full regulatory clarity. The last hurdle was the SEC. Now think about this. It'll be the only digital asset that is in compliance. And when everything hits the fan and it's the only one that has clarity, where do you think all the money's going to flow? Because right now with this, we're still in speculation. But people are going to start flooding in because of this Coinbase IPO. And it's literally going to cause CEOs of financial institutions to ask or to answer questions from their boards on why cryptocurrency strategies haven't been implemented yet. Because they're probably asking themselves, well, we had implemented it, who knows what our evaluation would have been, how much more we could, or how much more capital we could raise and add to our company. So I'm telling you, this is a huge deal. And the wave is coming, you best believe. Okay? Now, this is another thread here with Johnny Deaton and David Schwartz. He says, think about this. Tomorrow, Coinbase on the first day of trading is likely to exceed the value of Goldman Sachs. That's incredible. And then David Schwartz replies, this is going to be a huge wake-up call for a lot of financial institutions. A lot of boardrooms are going to have some version of, we've been a household name for 50 years, have over $1 trillion assets under management, and this, company is worth more than us. So you better believe they're going to be talking about this, and that doesn't even cap at all. Look at this. He says, if they haven't been demanding a real crypto strategy before, they're going to start now. Now, that's what I'm saying. This is just the beginning of the flood, of the wave coming in to the space. Okay? And that's why if you've been well situated, if you know what you're invested in, and it brings utility, real use case, when demand kicks in for digital assets that bring utility, can you imagine the price? Like right now, it's just peanuts. It is peanuts compared to what it's gonna be, and that's why you best prepare yourself. We're gonna enter some rocky times for sure, because the whole digital asset space does not have the clarity that it needs. But XRP, once this all is all said and done with the SEC, it will. So we'll have rocky times ahead, but believe the herd is coming. You better believe that. Now, like I said, or this is another interesting. Binance has started to issue tokens to trade stocks um, on their platform. They started with Tesla token a few days ago, and it had about like a $6.7 million trading volume, and now they're about to list Coinbase stock token on their platform, on their exchange. Are you kidding? Like, this is literally, you can trade fractions of a stock now. And this is where we're headed, folks. This is literally where we're headed. And this is going to be a big deal. And Binance is going to grow. If they keep doing something like this, it's going to become the norm. And people are going to flock to this. I'm telling you right now, this is the beginning of the space. And we're early. People have been invested now, are like early adopters. And now once the flood comes of people from traditional finance and just other individuals wanting to participate, it's gonna go to levels we've never seen before. And this is a $1 trillion market, and it's gonna be a multi-trillion. It's gonna keep growing. Now, I'm not saying that this bull run is different, that there's utility in this and that. I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is it's bringing more adoption um, to the world, and people are becoming more aware of it. Whether what happens with this cycle, if it's just another cycle, then so be it. But you have to position yourself to fit your situation personally, what you want to do. Okay? And talking about that, I want to bring up this another tweet by David Schwartz. He says, this is probably going to be my least popular tweet ever, but if you have life-changing amounts of cryptocurrency, please take some time to seriously consider selling some to reduce your risk and exposure. There's not any kind of prediction about what the market will do. Now, this is interesting because, he clarifies a little bit more, because people are just asking what they find life-changing and whatnot, and it says it's specific to your situation, but if you have $100,000 worth of cryptos you bought for $5,000, but you have $40,000 in student debt and $4,500 in the bank, I'd say maybe think about getting rid of that loan debt. And he said, of course, if you sell too much, the IRS gets involved. So what he's trying to say is, plan accordingly to whatever is your situation. If you have debts to pay and you have some money, It's probably best to start thinking about how you can pay that. But it's up to you. It's your situation, and nothing's promised in this space. Nothing's guaranteed. Okay, we're still in the wild, wild west. But know that if you're invested now and you're invested in things that have utility, you're on the right track. There's the Digital World Podcast. Like and subscribe. I hope this episode has brought you some value, and I'll see you in the next episode.